In this video, I'm going to be answering Revit questions that people have been posting on Reddit. Let's go. So overall, I have concluded that if you're asking questions about Revit on Reddit, well, there's your problem. You should definitely go to balkanarchitect.com for all of your Revit questions and needs. We are an Autodesk authorized training center and we provide over 150 hours of Revit courses. And that's going to conclude today's video. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next week. What? Oh, I should solve some of those in this video? Oh, okay, let's jump straight into it. And here we are on, well, Reddit of all places, and this is r/Revit forum, and here we have a question from a user, and they want to create this facade with arcs. It's like a balcony, and they have an issue. How do they actually create these arcs? And let's do that. So I'm here in Revit, I have an arced wall, and an obvious solution would be to just select that wall and go into Edit Profile, and then just model out the arcs. Now, unfortunately, with an arced wall, well, we don't have that option, so we need to find a different solution. So what I would do in this case is I would create an opening family that I would just implement across this wall. Let me explain. If I simply go here to architecture, click on door, and then place a simple door here, as you can see, we can place a door on a curved wall, but we don't want a door. We want an arched opening. So let's do that. I'm just going to select that door, go into edit type, and then we're just going to remove pretty much everything from this door apart from the opening. So I'm just going to go here and delete this and this and this. I don't need this, don't need this at all. None of this. Yeah, this is all useless. Okay, so I think I have all. Let's just go here to the 3D view just to see what we have. Yeah, we have this void here, so I'll delete that one as well. So anyways, now we have just the opening, so I'll just select it. So the opening is here. See, it says opening. You just select it, you go into edit sketch, and now I'll just drop this down. Yeah, let's remove the constraints, delete that line, and then create an arc, just like so. We can lift it up a little bit to match the height that we already had, hit finish, and now we have an arc. Now I'm just going to load that back into the project, override the existing version, and now we have that arc. Next step is just to jump into the floor plan view, select that. I'm just going to right click and then go to create similar, and then I can just continue placing that arced opening across this wall, and at the end this is what we get. As you can see, very simple, very straightforward. On to the next one, and that's this question about creating something like a skate park. And I was a skater boy about 25 years ago, so yeah, let's actually try to do this in Revit. So the issue is we can create this, what's this, like half pipe or something like that, and it's all cool, but what if you want to have a curve that's kind of following along the angle and across this wall? Well, we need a different solution than this one, so let's do it. We're back here in Revit, and let's say we want to do that over here. Now I'm going to model this as an in-place family. So I'll go here to architecture, then I'll go to component, open up the drop menu and click on model in place. For the category, we can just go simply with a generic model, click OK, OK again, and let's get started. I'm going to set the reference plane by using pick a plane option and then picking this plane over here, and then I'll just model a simple extrusion. So I'm going to start off with an arc, go from here at a 45-degree angle down to here, and then create that arc. Let's use an pick lines with 100 mil offset and just do this. And then I'll just use regular lines with 0 offset for horizontal and a vertical line like this. Then we're going to trim and extend it into oblivion until we get this, hit finish, and then we can kind of place it like so. Now let's change the work plane. So I'm just going to set the work plane to, well, let's go with level 1. Select this thing, and then let's go to our floor plan view. I'm going to go to rotate, RO is the shortcut, make sure copy is selected, and then I'm just going to rotate it like this by 90 degrees, and then we can place it kind of like that. So we can extend this one, make sure this one is against the wall, and then this one is against that one, and yeah, that should look good. Let's go back. Yeah, this is what we have. Looks perfectly fine, but we need to solve this corner issue. That's what the Revit user was having trouble with. So let's do that. I'm going to do this as a revolve, so that's this one. So I'll go here to pick a plane. I'm going to pick this plane over here because, well, it's there. Then go to revolve, go with a simple line for the axis line, and then go like this, just a simple vertical line. Then let's go to boundary, use pick lines, and then let's go like this and hit the tab key a few times until it highlights the entire chain of lines. Then you click and you get the entire boundary, you hit finish, and you get a nice little bowl. Now I'm sure skaters would love this, however it doesn't solve this particular issue, so let's select it again and just change the angle from 360 to 90 and then hit finish, and here we go. We have whatever this is called in the skater world. Unfortunately, I'm a little out with the terminology. And then if you want, you can just join these together to make them look kind of seamless. And you kind of need to figure out this place here because you don't want people to fall into that. But there we go. That's the second solution. Let's move on to the next one. And for my final trick, I'm going to be showing you how to solve this particular issue posted by user Facades, number 6. So here we have a facade with a bunch of windows, and you can see that we have this kind of recess at the top, which looks kind of nice, and this user is wondering how do you actually do this in Revit. And also here I just want to point out something quite cool. See how this facade has this wall in between the windows, and you can see as the facade goes up, the wall in between the windows is becoming smaller and smaller. This is a cool trick. When you're in front of the building, it looks kind of taller that way because it adds a bit more perspective. So it's just something cool to note. So anyways, let's do this in Revit. So here we are in Revit. We have this wall, and yeah, let's demonstrate how do we do this. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we have an additional layer that we can cut into to create that recess. Now, I'm working in Revit 2027, and in the latest few versions of Revit, we have support for compound walls, which means walls that are made from multiple walls. So yeah, that's how it works. So what I'll do here is I'm just going to go here into level 1, then I'll go to wall, and here we have a bunch of walls. I'm just going to take the smallest one, like this one, generic 100 millimeter, go into edit type, and then I'm just going to make it brick. So let's go here, brick common, perfect, okay, apply, okay, there we go. Then what I'll do is I'm just going to come here, and we have this option to place by segment on the wall. Let's go on the, is this the exterior side? Yeah. And then we can go with auto join as well. And basically we have just placed the brick wall on top of the existing wall. Now, what's this going to allow us to do is, yeah, so we have this wall here. It's going to allow us to now have two walls, and we can modify them independently. So I'll select the kind of the exterior wall, go into edit profile, and then I'll just make a big opening like this, hit finish, and this is what we have. Then I'm going to go back to architecture, go to window, and then I'm just going to pick a window over here. Let's pick a big one like this one, and then let's just place it like so. Okay, so once we have the window here in place, the next step is going to be just to select this wall again, go into edit profile, and then I'm just going to use the align tool to align the edges of the window to the edges of the facade wall. So just like that. I can even lock it in place if I want to, just like so. And then on top, you can just adjust that with the dimension, how tall you want this to be. Let's say 300 millimeters or something like that. Hit finish. And then you get something that looks like this, and there you go. That's the solution. Now, of course, is this the only solution? No, of course, you can build a void into the family itself if you want. I prefer this approach because it's utilizing this new approach to modeling walls in Revit, and I think it gives you a fairly decent solution, and then the window is really nicely planted on the interior wall, which is usually what you want to see. So there we go. Those were the 3 questions from Revit users that I wanted to cover in this video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and tell me in the comment section below, do you want to see more videos like this? Because if you do, I would be more than happy to create some more. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com, for more Revit courses. There I have over 120 hours of content, and I'm adding more each week. Make sure to subscribe for more videos, and also I've added a video over there that might interest you as well.